July 22nd, Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and heat and humidity continue to really be the dominant weather headlines across our region, and this heat is going to reach its apex tomorrow into the weekend. And we're talking dangerous levels of heat. The previous heat wave we had, when we had some upper 90s to lower 100s, we had pretty much very low levels of humidity. This time around, high levels of humidity, and that kind of ups the stakes in terms of the danger of the heat. It's going to be the type of heat that can cause a lot of issues if you have to spend any extended period of time outside. And you need to check on anybody you know that does not have access to air conditioning. It's that type of heat. Also, if you have to leave your pets outside, make sure they have some shade and plenty of cold water. This is a fairly serious type of heat as we go through the next several days. Now let's look at the storm reports from yesterday. I really am showing you this to show you the big complex of storms, or at least the result of that up in the New England states. Quite significant severe weather episode up that way. Also, the coastal plain of South Carolina had a decent number of wind damage reports and a couple in eastern North Carolina. The radar is quiet all across the region this morning, with the exception of one little shower that's been near the North and South Carolina border there along the coast, near and just north of North Myrtle Beach. That's moving out to sea. Another big complex of storms in the upper Midwest, but that will stay well off to our north. There's the watch, warning, and advisory situation in all those peach-shaded counties. That does include the eastern part of the Charlotte metro and southern sections of the Raleigh metro area, and then pretty much the majority of South Carolina, down into eastern Georgia, much of north and central Alabama, and you can see there on back north and west from there. Those are all heat advisories, and that is, generally speaking, the criteria for a heat advisory is heat index values exceeding 105 degrees, and that's what many spots will see in those peach-shaded areas this afternoon. This is the upper air chart, and our 594 decameter ridge continues to build on in. It'll reach its peak tomorrow into Saturday, and here's the European model. It kind of gives you a little better perspective. It's actually all the way up to 597 decameters. That essentially what we're talking about is the thickness of the lower level atmosphere, and when the hotter it is, the thicker the atmosphere is, and so that's indicating pretty hot air mass, certainly all across the southeastern part of the country. Now, here's the modeling in terms of precipitation output. I think most of us with a dry day today. Sure, a couple of isolated storms are a possibility, but most of us are going to be dry today. Highs mid, even some upper 90s. Tomorrow, I think many of us into the upper 90s for highs, and probably those heat advisories will be expanded to include more counties tomorrow. Again, upper 90s tomorrow, and then upper 90s to near 100 on Saturday, and some spots will hit 100 tomorrow. So it's going to be very hot and very humid. Pretty nasty levels of heat and humidity over the next few days. Now, Sunday, still probably mid to some upper 90s for highs, but a weakening front is approaching by that point in time, and it should be around the region on Monday. So I think pretty good chances for at least some scattered storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, at least Monday and Tuesday. The chances might decrease by Wednesday, but you know the drill. Typically, the greatest chance will be in the afternoon and the evening, and hey, a big cool down by early next week. Note the sarcasm there. We're going to be in the low 90s early next week, so it will be a few notches cooler early next week than what we're going to see over the next few days. All right, in the tropics, a couple of areas to monitor. One down here in the Bay of Campeche. The other area is the one we've been tracking for you, moving near Hispaniola into the Bahamas. The problem with these two areas, different problem for both systems. The one down in the Bay of Campeche is so close to land that whatever can develop is going to quickly wind up over Mexico, so not a huge threat there. And our area we've been tracking through the Caribbean Sea has really been battling some fairly hostile upper-level winds. There's been an upper-level low that's been causing some pretty intense shear over that system, and that's really been inhibiting the developmental potential. Still could develop slowly as this heads into the Gulf this weekend. I don't think this is going to have the chance to become a really significant system, but it might still become a tropical depression or maybe a tropical storm if everything aligns correctly. And this will eventually head into probably the north-central Gulf Coast region. But again, at the moment, it doesn't look like that'll become a tremendously huge system, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Stay cool. Have a great Thursday, and God bless.